I'm Grace Kellner, and I was born in Cold Spring, December the 12th, 1914. My mom and dad was Charles and Margaret Gilly, pardon me. It's only Gilly outside of Cold Spring. In Cold Spring, it's always Gilly. And let my aunt hear you say anything different, she'd raise your skull. I was born over Wiesner's Restaurant, which is on Main Street in Cold Spring. There's a bar been there below for years and years. I don't even know what it's named right now. Do you?
No. It was where now? Where did you say?
It's across from Keys Chevrolet Garage.
Okay. Oh, the bar?
Yeah.
Winter's Bar. Winter's Bar now? It was the Rainbow Bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the time when I was born, it belonged to Wiesner's Hotel.
Okay.
And we lived upstairs there. And I was just an infant when we moved south to the little farm, as I've always called it. My dad was born here.
He was born here, okay.
And mother was born in Wisconsin, and then her folks moved to St. Joe.
Okay.
And Dad was a painter, and that's how he was painting somewhere in St. Joe when he met Mother.
Okay. And then they married and came to Cold Spring.
And lived in Cold Spring all the time.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Dad died in 49 and Mom in 67.
Okay. So she raised the kids after Dad died.
Well, we were pretty well raised.
Okay.
Well, there was a little smokehouse, and where in the world is the house? Oh, here. Excuse me. And this was a tank where the cold water from the spring came. We never had a refrigerator. We never had an icebox or anything there. The cold water kept everything fresh.
Wow.
And it would run out into the pop factory. And that was the water that was used to make the pop. There must have been, maybe 6 or 8 different flavorings of pop. And my dad would load them up with his horses, and we'd travel with them to the little towns around the country. Spring Hill was a great one because there was a bar there, and believe you me, we got more candy bars.
And this was located where, Grace? Where was your home located? Where's your house? Where was this house?
Down on Highway 23.
Okay.
Off to the north of the road, and across the river from the Granite Company.
Okay.
If the Granite Company's still there.
Mm-hmm. The buildings are there. Yes.
That was May the 29th, 2001.
Right.
Last week we asked readers for help finding our information about the Swastika Water Company. We got a call from someone who had been reading our paper probably longer than we've been alive. The caller informed us that to the best of his recollection and the help of some history books, the Swastika Water Company existed about 1915 and was located across the river from the Granite Company, where the Wayside Rest is, which is no longer open. The spring that runs through that area was a source of water used for bottling. Swastika Company was owned by, that is F.P. Moyne, but that was not F. That was P.P. Moyne. And A.J. Peters. A.J. Peters used to run a general store at the present State Bank location. Most of us viewed the swastika as an evil symbol, but it wasn't until Hitler made it that way. The swastika was a religious symbol before Hitler. Thank you, Jerry, for your information. Have a good week. Then it says, Dear Editor, wow. After 86 years, we find out what the factory we called the Pop Factory was Swastika Water Company. A real thrill. We lived in the house next to the factory from 1915 to late 1924. My dad, Charles C. Gilly, made pop there and delivered by horses and pop wagon to the towns around. Oh, that was a thrill. Pop was made there from the early part of my life, but by 1924 it was no longer in operation. Strawberry, raspberry, orange, grape, cream soda, and a clear, sparkly fizzy creation we called White Pop at 5 cents a bottle. Good old days. A.J. Peters and his wife Rose Morn, ran the Morn store. Mrs. Tony Keys, nee Olive Mines, and Mrs. Bill Gumram, nee Marie Woken, were clerks at the store. Thanks, Jerry, for filling in an important part of the history of Cold Spring. Important to me, at least. And that's the little barn, and even a horse was there.
Okay.
And Mom's garden, and these were the granary, and the garage, and the outhouse.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh, then later on there was one built over here.
Okay.
That was in the end of the granary.
And then this house was here.
This is the pop factory.
Oh, that's the pop factory.
Here's the house.
Okay. How long was this in existence? When your dad was done, or when he passed away,
Oh, I don't remember when they tore it down.
Okay. Did the business go on though by somebody else?
No.
No. Okay.
In fact, when the granite company, when the dam was dynamited,
Okay.
over in the pop factory there were big tanks hanging, and one of them flew off of one of the hooks, and it sagged for years.
Oh, for crying out loud.
It was still sagging when I left.
Really? And what year was that? Do you know?
24.
Okay. Wow.
My baby sister was born in February, and then in late summer we moved uptown.
Okay.
I'm sure there were many more springs around, but this is the one that I grew up knowing where it was.
Well, there used to be a spring, when I was young, that you could go to this wayside rest, and there was like a water faucet.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's where it was.
Okay.
And then after they started building all of the trailers up there, then they condemned it because they said there was too much seepage from.
Okay.
I could have cried.
Oh, I'll bet.
And we had to catch water and take it into the house, and then the pail was almost red inside from the rust in that water.
Wow.
Now I suppose it probably would be condemned for too much iron.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
something. This big, it was a mammoth old tree. And we had a team of horses, and one of them, Cap, was very gentle. He was red, and Prince was a white stallion. And you couldn't get on Prince for the love of money. I had a cousin that, I can ride him. He went in the barn and got on, and with that he was off already. We'd get on Cap, and from his neck to his tail, you had to hang on.
Mm-hmm.
And around the tree we go. And if one of the kids slipped off or fell off, he stopped dead. You couldn't get him to move until that child was out of the way.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And they went to an auction then when we moved uptown. And my dad was an auctioneer. He probably even cried the auction himself.
When you say you moved uptown, where was that then?
Across the street from the bar, on the east side, there was that big stone building. It belongs to the Granite Company now, and they've got a great big building there.